This video covers the IGCSE Biology Objective 8.3.6 on the 2025 CAIE syllabus to explain the factors affecting transpiration rates. So we talked about this in a previous video where we were looking at how to investigate two out of these factors, that is wind speed and temperature, but there are actually four factors that affect the rate of transpiration. So we're just briefly going to go over those four factors, what they are and what they do. You do need to know in detail about three of them. I am going to address all four of them here, but you do need to know only three in detail. So I'm going to go over in detail just those three. So we have light intensity. This is going to affect the rate of photosynthesis in the guard cells, keeping the guard cells open or letting them close. So again, there is a video that I have done on the opening and closing of the guard cells. That was done when we did the leaf structure in plant nutrition. So please go back and take a look at that video if you need to review how that happens. We have temperature. This is going to affect the evaporation of water and the diffusion of water molecules in the leaf. There's wind speed, which affects how water vapor diffuses out of the leaf and therefore going to affect the whole water potential gradient in the leaf structure. And then we have humidity, which is going to affect the water potential gradient. So out of these four factors, you need to know about temperature, wind speed, and humidity. So let's take a look at each of those in more detail. So temperature is a measure of hotness or coldness, and temperature is going to affect the leaf of the plant and therefore the entire movement of water molecules. So when we have high temperatures, this is going to lead to an increase of evaporation of water molecules in the mesophyll and therefore increase the rate of transpiration. When we have lower temperatures, that's going to lead to a decrease of evaporation of water molecules in the mesophyll and therefore lower the rate of transpiration in the whole entire plant structure. Wind speed is the rate at which air moves in a particular area. So when we have high wind speeds, that's going to push the water molecules away from the leaf, therefore lowering the water potential gradient outside of the leaf, and so more water molecules are going to diffuse out to replace those that have been pushed away by the wind. When we have lower wind speeds, that's going to allow water molecules to stay near the leaf. Therefore, it's going to increase the water potential gradient outside the leaf, and so water molecules are not going to diffuse out against a gradient. Remember, it's a passive movement of molecules. So those water molecules, that water vapor, is just going to hang out inside the air spaces until the gradient changes. So therefore, the transpiration rate will slow down. All right, humidity is the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. It's actually measured as a percentage or concentration of water vapor in the atmosphere. And so you can have high humidity, which is lots of water molecules in the atmosphere, or low humidity, which is not so many water molecules in the atmosphere. So this is water vapor. Okay, so the more water vapor there is, the higher the humidity or the percentage there is in the atmosphere, or more concentration. All of those mean the same thing. So when you have high humidity, the water potential gradient is going to be higher outside the leaf. And so if the water potential gradient is higher outside the leaf, the water molecules are not going to diffuse out, because that means they'd be moving against a gradient. And because this is a passive action, they are just going to not be able to move. When we have low humidity, that is not so many water molecules in the atmosphere compared to inside the leaf, the water potential gradient therefore is going to be lower outside the leaf, and the water molecules will then be able to diffuse out. So let's briefly just take a look at how the factors affect transpiration. And let's not forget, when we talk about how they affect transpiration, the converse of whatever the situation is also true. So as we increase light intensity, we're going to increase transpiration. As we increase humidity, we will decrease transpiration. Increased wind speed means increased transpiration, and increased temperature will mean increased transpiration. So you do need to know these relationships for humidity, wind speed, and temperature. But let's not forget that the converse of these are also true. So if I decrease humidity, then I will increase transpiration, etc., to all the other ones as well.